Well, folks, as you can tell, Justin Calvert has magically transformed into Tanya Justin from Epic Games, who is here to show us Bulletstorm. Tanya, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Bulletstorm is the new first-person shooter from People Can Fly, the guys who made Painkiller.
Yep.
However, you are a producer at Epic. What's the sort of involvement that Epic has with People Can Fly, and how does this work exactly?
So basically, when we started working with People Can Fly, I've been working with People Can Fly from the Gears PC days, which is how I got to know them. And I just became really involved with the team, and as Bulletstorm started to become like a reality and the guys were coming up with some great concepts, decided to have me produce it because I have a lot of experience producing Gears and UT. And I also have a lot of experience, but we have this notion of like epic quality, and we knew that People Can Fly had all of the creativity side of it. We wanted to make sure that that they were hitting the epic quality bar, and so I've been trying to help them with that, and it's like I'm the link between our art direction and design and stuff at Epic to People Can Fly.
So let's set the foundation for what this game is all about. You guys have used a lot of terms to describe it. Blood Symphony, the burnout of shooters.
Yeah.
How exactly would you describe a game like this? It seems like it would be hard to do.
Well, yeah, that's why I use those terms, I guess, right? Because like when we first started creating the game, we started calling it a blood symphony, where like the player is like the conductor, and the environment, enemies, and your tools are basically your instruments of destruction. And we say that because it's not about just getting the headshot. It's not about just making the kill. It's about creating beautiful bloody music. It's like entering a combat area and navigate, like seeing what's around you and saying, there's a guy in front of rebar, there's a guy over by a ledge, there's like a guy that's by a helicopter. I wonder if I use the thumper, which is the leash upgrade, and launch the guy into the air and see if he'd get chopped up by the helicopter blades. You can actually do that in Bulletstorm, and we give you our reward, which is our skill shots, to identify that you came up with a really good idea. We want to make sure you get rewarded for it. And so you can use those points to upgrade your weapons, upgrade your characters, get new unlocks, get other weapons, and new skill shots as well.
Let's talk about the world that this game is set in, because it's interesting because it looks like sort of a post-apocalyptic feel, but at the same time it's very bright, vibrant, and colorful, which is not something you would normally associate with like ruined buildings and a demolished setting like this.
So actually, you as the player, you crash onto this planet after a series of insane events, and you're learning about the planet as you go through it and about what happened there. And it takes place on a planet called Stygia, and Stygia was essentially a tourist paradise. It was purely created to as a place for people from Earth to go to get away from their troubles. And so that's why it's so beautiful. It's supposed to represent the places on Earth that are the most beautiful. But there was this they're essentially gamma storms that caused radiation to spread across the planet. And the people who were there, who were left there, are now mutated, and all the plants are mutated, and everyone else had to escape. So that's kind of the backstory.
And the people who populate this world, the enemies, should I feel bad about tormenting them in such over-the-top ways, or are these really bad guys?
Yeah, these are and I don't know how much we're ready to talk about it so much, but they're bad guys.
Yeah.
They're not. There's no. In the beginning, you try diplomacy, and diplomacy doesn't work. They've gone feral after years of mutation and not being around other people.
So run us through a typical Bulletstorm kill, because it seems like there's a lot of different combinations, a lot of different options. Let's use our imagination for something that could conceivably happen in a level like this.
Well, the thing is that there's no kind of such thing as a typical kill, because you can literally, it's whatever you want to come up with is something that's going to be different and something you can get rewarded for, and based on the weapons that you're using, it's a completely different set of things.
Right.
So for example, even if you're just using our main assault rifle, which is a standard issue, you have a set of 30 different skill shots you can get just by using the primary fire on the assault rifle. And so from the most basic, which is a headshot, you get the headshot, but if you aim for the neck, which is a little bit more difficult to do, you can get a gag reflex and get the next shot. Or if you have your leash and your upgrade for the leash, which thumps the guys into the air, if you kill them while they're in the air, you get a trap shooting skill shot. So there's all of these, depending on what you've unlocked and what you've upgraded, you have a completely different set of ways that you can kill enemies.
And so it seems like there's an economy driving all this, where you unlock points, and what do these points actually go towards?
So that's the basis of the game. It's like part of like the whole Burnout of shooters things, right? It's in Burnout you essentially you upgrade your cars and stuff, right? And you unlock new tracks. And in Bulletstorm, it's the same idea where once you've got the ability to unlock a weapon, you have to use the points to be able to purchase that weapon and its upgrades. And we have these other things called boosters, as well as like ammo and stuff like that. So that's the whole driving force, is that you want to get skill points so that you can unlock more stuff.
All right, let's see. We've got some audience questions rolling in here. Let me see. A lot of people are wondering whether Bulletstorm is going to be PlayStation Move compatible, but that seems like a bit of a far-fetched question for the time being, at least. Yeah. I think the fact that we just had that Move demo, it's planted that seed in people's minds. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like people are really interested in the weapons in this game. How many are there? What are the different kinds of weapons that we haven't mentioned so far?
Well, the weapons that we're talking about right now is like the two weapons we've been showing is the Flail Gun, which is 2 grenades linked together by a chain, and you can use it in so many different ways. If you wrap it against the environment versus the enemy, you can get a different type of skill shot. So, for example, if you wrap a trash can, kick the trash can towards enemies, and time the explosion so the trash can goes off near them, you could potentially get an environmental skill shot, which is like cause the environment kill. Or you can get an afterburner if you set them on fire and then kill them while they're on fire. It's an afterburner skill shot. Or you can wrap enemies, kick the enemies towards other enemies, and get a different type of skill shot called the gangbang, because they're gangs and there's explosions. Yeah.
Julian from Puerto Rico is wondering, in the campaign, do you have teammates? It looked like you had some buddies there by your side earlier.
So actually you have Ishii is your cyborg teammate, essentially. He was with you from the very beginning of the game, where you actually start as a badass mercenary, part of Dead Echo. And he crashes on the planet with you. And there's the other characters that you've seen so far, they're actually people you encounter as you play through the game. And so we're not talking much about that yet. No spoilers, not yet.
Alibaba from Los Angeles is wondering, will the PC version ship with the new Unreal editor?
So we're still not exactly too sure about it yet, but we have UDK, and so absolutely, like the editor is available to anybody who wants to make mods for the Unreal Engine. So if you want to do that, you can do it now. You can do it today. So go do it.
Yeah, I've got to say that the version of the Unreal Engine that you guys are running on here looks incredible. Like the light coming through the clouds up there, and all the various effects that you have going on. It's a very pleasing game on the eyes.
Well, actually, the version that we're using should be available to UDK users if it's not already. I'm not exactly sure, but it's either available now or will be available very, very soon. And this is the same version that Gears of War 3 is running on. So we try to keep it all in the same, in the same family.
Damien from Toronto is wondering, what can we expect from boss battles in this game?
Well, I don't know if Damien, I don't know if you've seen some of the boss battles that we've shown so far, but they're way over the top. Like, we're trying to do something, we call them like blockbuster events, meaning that it's not just, we do have more traditional boss battles, but we really want it to be a whole experience, like when you encounter a boss. But it's not just, the 1, 2, 3 kill, there's a little trick and some big cinematic moments that go along with that as well.
Keith from Northern Ireland has an interesting question. What type of gamer do you suggest this game for?
Well, actually, I think that it appeals to everyone who's that's into games. Like, we wanted to make this game all about fun and not make it too difficult for people. We absolutely have difficulty settings, so if you want to make it really hard on yourself, then absolutely go for it and tell us how many skill shots you get and like that you've unlocked every skill shot in the game, and that's awesome. But we did want to make sure that it was fun, like just unadulterated fun. So I think that as long as you're not, if you're a fan of shooters and like this kind of action, then I think you're gonna like the game a lot.
A lot of questions about multiplayer coming in. Are you guys talking anything about that yet?
Well, I can tell you we are working on something really cool, but we're not talking about it yet. We're like right now we have so much new stuff to talk about that it'd just be another layer to the madness. So we'll be talking about it soon, though.
All right, Tanya. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you very much.
One last question before I let you go. When is Bulletstorm out, and which are the platforms that it's going to be out for?
It's going to be on the PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3 on February 22nd, 2011.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, that is your look at Bulletstorm. Now it's time for the next segment of the show.